closed captioning of this show is brought to you by Echo Bearcat, rugged equipment, easy to use.
Events like this just don't happen without some key sponsors.
Greek Seafood has been in Campbell River for 11 years. We've got 17 farm sites on the east and west coast of Vancouver Island, and we are what we call a family-owned aquaculture company. We've only got about 120 employees, and majority of them are working at our different farm sites. The size of Campbell River with a population of 30,000 means that we can really get involved in a lot of fundraising events in the community, and Grieg has done that for 11 years now. In addition to a lot of the actual health-related fundraisers, we found an opportunity to get involved in the lager sports events this weekend and jumped at that opportunity. The Salmon Sizzler is also being held today. It's a competition of professional chefs as well as amateur chefs, and we've got one of our staff participating today. We're also really looking forward to all of the lager events. There's a lot of professional lager competitors coming this weekend, and it'll just be a fantastic weekend.
As we head into the Butcher Block, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Marilyn very much and her company, Greek Seafood, for being a key sponsor here at the Campbell River Salmon Festival. Heading into the Butcher Block is new to Campbell River right now. We have two teams of two competitors, Sterling Hart and Brian Bartow. They're going to be taking on David Green and Rob Weibel.
That's right, great event. Actually, this combines a couple of events, the underhand chop and the standing block chop, and two competitors. So you're going to team, two guys chop the block, one fellow takes his swing at the first side of the block, has to clean it all out, and then his partner jumps on and finishes the block. And we do an underhand chop, move right into the standing block.
Well, if we look at it in terms of percentages, we got Sterling Hart right now and David Green doing about 25% of the work as this overall competition. Sterling is going to be setting up for Brian Bartow. David Green going to be setting things up for Rob Weibel, as Rob Weibel's on the backside of the underhand right now.
That's right. You're probably wondering what's going on with these black things on the end of the logs. They're actually rubber bands. Here's the switch from one side to the other. They actually work to hold the log together so you don't get a big slab coming off the log.
Here in the West Coast, they allow the rubber bands. In the East Coast, I know you guys use slabbing nails. As David Green is now onto the standing block chop, and Rob Weibel catching his breath, ready to take things over, and Hart and Bartow are just finishing up the underhand.
Now they got a great lead on them now. Of course, they know they've got a big jump. Of course, this beautiful 14-inch white pine is chopping really well.
Sterling Hart, great guy, been working down under. He may be able to catch David Green. He's relatively new to lager sports, although doing a heck of a job setting things up for Rob Weibel.
Actually losing his steam a little bit here, you see. He wants to get that first side done so he can switch off to his partner, and he takes right over. Rob Weibel really blistering into this second side.
Veteran competitor Rob Weibel coming back into the game, looking really strong and really impressive, ready to put the finishing touches on. Bartow has not yet started their standing block chop.
Yeah, but he's putting the drivers in here now. The time to beat right now will be 1 minute, 17 seconds.
The Butcher Block Relay, first heat, now in the books with Weibel and Green leading the way. And it's an interesting event, certainly a team event where one guy's got to prepare for the other guy to take over his piece of work.
Yeah, for sure. And, to be honest, Dave was kind of my plan B partner, so I had to drag him up here. He's just a young kid, but he chopped fantastic. I'm really, really pleased with how we did.
Now, what do you do when you go in there second on a piece of work, you go in there first on a piece of work? How do you work with your partner on an event like that?
My plan this whole time was just to get half done and let him do the rest.
And do as he coaches you through?
Exactly. So, lucky enough, we got a couple good blocks. My axe was cutting, so I couldn't be more pleased.
Well, Rob Weibel certainly had the speed there, but I think he lacked a little bit on accuracy in that chop, but he made up for it in speed. They won the heat. Now the time to beat is 1:17.04 in the Butcher Block. Now we got a team of ex-Australian, now Canadian Mitch Hewitt, and Brad DeLoza from Australia, taking on a couple of Americans, Brandon Sergai and David Moses. Who do you like in this heat?
Oh, man, well, you've got to go with Hewitt and DeLoza. They probably the most experienced. They've chopped down under. They've been at this a long time. No slouches, of course, for the guys from the States, Moses and Sergai. They've chopped a lot of blocks as well, but you've just got to go with the Aussies. They're usually the best choppers in the world, so this will be a great heat to watch.
Now, in my opinion, I think the underhand chop is not the strongest chop for Mitch Hewitt. He's taking on Brandon Sergai, trying to go 25% of the way through this whole event right now. Sergai and Hewitt, although Mitch is doing a great job.
Mitch Hewitt's ahead right now. He put in two good drivers for his partner on the second side.
There goes David Moses onto his block. Looks like Brad DeLosa slightly ahead at this point, although it's very close with the big power of David Moses.
Yeah, he's really taking his time. He's actually swinging a little bit slower pace, but look at the power in his hits.
DeLoza looks like they're ready to break off. Moses breaks off just slightly ahead of DeLoza. We're into the standing block chop. Much more of a strength for Mitch Hewitt, and he's taking on Brandon Sergai right now.
That's right. They're still right neck for neck at this stage of the game. Mitch Hewitt taking his time, making sure those hits are going where he wants them. Not a bad technique here right now.
Sergei ahead at this point right now, and he puts some drivers in, hands it off to big power-hitting David Moses. Can he beat these guys from Australia right now? Looks like Mitch is struggling in the standing block a little bit.
You'd almost think that wood is really hard on the far side of Mitch Hewitt's block. He took a long time to get that far wood out of the block, so that's actually put them at a disadvantage here right now.
Candelosa play catch-up right now. Moses is driving things off. Looks like Moses and Sergei are going to win this. What an incredible upset. Brad DeLosa still working on things, not too far behind, but the team of Sergei and Moses win the butcher block.
That's a huge upset by the Americans, taking down the Aussies.
Guys, that's a pretty good team you beat over there. And I know David made a bit of a comeback on the underhand. Tell me about setting up for him on the underhand. Do you do anything differently?
The big challenge is that I'm left-handed and Dave's right-handed. So I had to set my block up. So in a sense, I normally set my drive hits, the last hits before I would normally turn. I usually set those on the left. I had to remind myself, and he reminded me as I was chopping, set them on the right so that it'll come off clean for David.
Now on the standing block at the end there, your block started to come apart on the far side. I'm not sure, but on the near side came off there a little bit sooner than you expected.
Yes, it's a little bit sooner than I expected, but I was able to cover to reach over and get the far side, so it went well. Happy with that.
What a fantastic and exciting event, the Butcher Block Relay, featuring some of the best axemen in all of North America.